Hello everyone. We are going to present you the Manmo Temple. Our project is focusing on Manmo and Manmo Temple. In this video we are going to explore the ritual practices of worshipping Manmo God, particularly the use of Baisan. We had hypothesized that Manmo Temple's importance was because of the focus on the individual level, for example, academic success, being strong, healthy etc. more than the social level, which religion is a spiritual capital for them. In this video, we are going to explore this through the use of observations at the temple, and in qualitative interviews with visitors and tourists at the temple. We will present these findings, whilst relating them to the concepts of communal versus privatization or religion, as well as evaluating the significance of Manmo Temple in terms of cultural, social and symbolic capital. First of all, let me briefly introduce the background of Manmo Temple. The Manmo Temple in Hollywood Road was built in 1847. Its purpose is for the worship of two very different gods, Manqiang and Guan Yu. Manqiang is the god of literature, while the name Mo refers to Guan Yu, the god of war or martial valor. During the 1900s, it is said that locals came here to solve disputes that could not be solved by British law. The process of finding a solution involved the legal system of the Qing dynasty, which stated that both plaintiff and defendant should make a promise in the temple and write it, along with the curse or punishment, on a piece of yellow paper. They then killed a chicken, chopped off its head, let its blood drip onto the paper, and burned the paper. It was believed that because the promise was made before the gods, if the individual broke the promise they would suffer the indicated punishment. Many Chinese preferred this justice system to the British system. Also, the temple was also used as a meeting place for the community. Therefore historically, the temple played a very big role in the community. However, nowadays the temple no longer performs these customs, and with the secularization of religion, we wanted to explore the relevance of Manmo Temple for the community today. Although the worker told us there is no specific sequences of worshipping the gods and goddess in the temples, we observe there are several practices. 1. Light the incense. 2. Prepare the altar, for example, fruit, flowers. 3. Sacrificial articles. 4. Drawing the lucky sticks. 5. Throw the holy cup. We have interviewed 4 local people and 2 tourists and referred to their experience on worshipping, how religion steps into their life and how much do they know about Manmo Temple. And we have highlighted some key findings here to explain more. The first one we interviewed is Mr. Cheng, who is a Buddhist. He did not have purpose but just passed by Manmo Temple, so he came into Baisan. He said in the tradition, even you are just passed along any of the temples, you still need to worship to show your respect to God. Though he is a Buddhist but his family members are all Catholics, they still respect to each other. He believes that all religions can live in harmony if no one criticizes others' religion. Mr. Cheng said he learned this ritual from his parents and that is no fixed performances. He believed ritual is embedded in the history, but it can be changed by time to time. One of the example he raised is to trace back to the original Buddhism in Chinese history. Buddhists are not vegetarians because they have to beg alms anywhere. Just because from time to time, Chinese performed these rituals to seek for protection and health from their Chinese gods, and they believe in the yin-go effect. If they want to have a better life, they should not kill lives when they are in life. So it shifts a little bit of the Buddhism rituals and Buddhists become vegetarians. The Chinese value and belief can be reflected upon these rituals, especially the respect of the nature. The second interviewee is Charmaine, who is a fresh graduate from City University of Hong Kong. She does not have any religious background but she came back to give the returning to God. Charmaine failed in her HKLE examination in 2006 and started her studies in associate degree program. But she has been waiting for 2 years without any degree offer. Charmaine's mom saw her frustration, so she asked her to worship God in Manmo Temple to give her a university place to continue her education in a good institution. What amazing happened is, after her praying for God, she got the degree offer a week later, which totally changes her life. So that day she brought some altars to return and thanked for the God. Charmaine said it's about the give and take. When you take something from the God, you must have to give something out. So she has to do the good things, otherwise, if she behave bad, God will know and punish her after death. We saw Charmaine donate money into the collection box to Tonghua. She said doing charity is a way to show your compassion, which is important in Buddhism. The third interviewee is Mrs. Wang, who is a 50-year-old housewife. She came with her son to worship her ancestors. She strictly performed those rituals as it is necessary to worship them before venerating her ancestors, otherwise spiritual money couldn't be received by her ancestors. As she wants to provide a better life to the ancestors, she insists to go worship even it's a public holiday and there are lots of people in Manmo Temple. Mrs. Wang's mom is a Catholic but her father performs Chinese rituals. Like Mr. Cheng, Mrs. Wang learned this ritual from his parents and she thinks the rituals can be passed from one generation to the next. She thinks the best part in worship is she can feel mentally stronger after lighting the incense and drawing the lucky stick. So here let's have a short conclusion on how local people rely on religion practice at Manmo Temple. Among those three interviewees, we found that they focus on individual level more than the social one because they hope to achieve a good effect, so they will try to give the good cause. Though religion somehow can help to build up the social bond and form the identity, yet, from our observation, people aren't really care about the identity, and some even reject to be interviewed cause they think worship is part of their private life. Moreover, worship can provide them spiritually support. They are motivated after the communication with God. Thus we can say, religion for them is a kind of spiritual and religion capital. What's more is during the second visit at Manmo Temple, we found an interesting scene. An elderly was teaching a kid how to worship God. To refer to Mr. Cheng and Mrs. Wang's interview, they both haven't learned the rituals, just taught by their parents. We found that the rituals are passed from one generation to another. Some of the interviewees performed these rituals different from the Taoist priest, showing that practitioners of these rituals is not necessarily acquired with much understanding of these rituals. As we can see, the kid is learning to worship. It implies the continuity of rituals in future generations. The symbolic meaning is more important than the ritual itself. Although rituals and practices can be passed from one generation to the next generation, why the religion changes from time to time? To recap the concept of secularization, it is the transformation of a society from close identification with religious values and institutions. This happened particularly through modernization, and religion loses its authority in all aspects of social life and governance. Anyone can be a practitioner of Chinese religion. There is no need to understand the religious ideology, but people only the need to conduct the rituals in a somewhat correct manner, because many do not have much understanding of the actual rituals. In our second visit, we saw the priest bringing devotees around to worship, telling them which to worship. The sequence of worship rituals are learned by examples from other believers and practitioners, and there is no written text to teach the believers and practitioners of the correct rituals. The secularization become a service provider, just like providing counseling service. One of the examples is this couple who were American. They had read about the temple in their guidebook. Their purpose to come to the temple was for purely aesthetic reasons rather than worshipping. They didn't know much about the culture or history behind Manmo Temple but were eager to learn. The couples believe that the luck stick are effective for the specific purpose, so they tried and asked about their relationship. When we further talked to them, we found they are actually Christian, but they found church somehow as a place for them and friends to gather together rather than really doing the chapel. Another example is there are more and more local tours to visit Manmo Temple. Manmo becoming a religious heritage site and more secular visitors. The rise of number of visitors to the temple, there will also be the spread of local rituals and religion to the world community. There are even local tours visiting the temple, not taking them to the temple to worship, but just for visiting as an ordinary tourist spot like a museum, looking at the historical features of temple. There are rules to restrict the visitors. This can also shows that the society has become more secular. There is disengagement of society from religion and religious institution become less important. And it is no longer directly relate to the God, it can be a tour travel and everyone can be the practicer. To sum up our video, we discover that people in Manmo Temple not really focus on social bonding or identity. Instead, they focus more on the individual level, that is the spiritually support. temple is a spiritual and religious capital for them that rituals are associated with different symbolic meanings. Besides, Manmo Temple is no longer an institutional place. Everyone can be the practicer and worship God without fixed rituals. Nowadays, there are more visitors or local tour to Manmo Temple. Here we would like to leave a discussion. More evidence is showing the Manmo Temple is shifting to an economic agent, as the temple will sell souvenirs that not really related to the rituals or religious, and there will also be souvenir shop nearby selling different kinds of products like the good luck charm, postcards, key holders, so on. There even are some advertisement outside the Manmo Temple. Is Manmo Temple becoming an economic agent? What do you think?